All right, so now let's meet our speakers for today's session. So Dr. VK Liau, PhD, is a certified Microsoft trainer with a doctorate in electrical and electrics engineering. With more than 15 years in teaching and consultancy, he specializes in digital transformation courses, including cybersecurity, data analytics, business analysis, and cloud computing. And our other speaker for today's session is Wilson Ho. Wilson is an innovative leader with more than 20 years of innovation experience who drives transformation within organizations, creating for a wide audience. So Wilson's track record includes launching companies to new heights in fintech, edtech, and the aviation and energy sectors. I will now hand it over to our speakers for their presentation, starting off with Wilson.
Okay, thank you everyone, and I hope you have a great Tuesday so far. And for those of you in Calgary, we're into winter, so thank you for allowing me to talk to you guys. Digital transformation, it's you hear everywhere, every place that you work in, and really, what is it, and what are the objectives? And on the current slide, as you can see, it's obviously the priority is to enhance your customer experience, just help building a better experience for customers, increase operational efficiency. Organization want to look at within just to see if there's any ways to increase and generate revenue opportunities, reduce bottom line, and ensure of security and regulatory compliance, and also innovative and competitiveness. Digital transformation can help business to gain competitive advantages against your competitors. Next slide. I think it's important to understand what is not digital transformation, and just so that everyone have a good understanding. So simply put, you're enhancing a service, like converting something that is analog to digital form. So, for example, from paper to digital, that's really is to digitize documents. It's not a actual digital transformation. Your digital upgrade, your incremental upgrade, is not considered digital transformation. New projects, it's not considered digital transformation in nature, but there are cases where a project initiative within the organization can prompt an actual digital transformation, which we'll talk about in a bit. Digital marketing, this is just your normal marketing campaign using your digital platform. That's not considered transformation. And then maintaining status quo, it's really to many of us just keep the lights on. That's not considered digital transformation. Next slide. Okay, so what is it? What are some of the key components? In order to make things, make digital transformation happens, many of these four items are essential. Obviously, cloud computing, because of the nature of cloud being available everywhere and anywhere. It's on a subscription basis. You no longer have to deal with data center that are fixated in a particular area. You have to upkeep and maintain it. Cloud computing is you subscribe what you need, it's scalable, flexible, and then and can forecast costs to ensure that you have the available budget to use the various cloud computing services. Artificial intelligence, I'm sure you hear many different news about what AI is going to look like. The part it plays within the digital transformation is AI can automate anywhere from low level to complex tasks, and also advanced analytics and insights, and intelligent decision making. There are some examples that I can provide on some of the things I did recently that leverage artificial intelligence to help gain the valuable data and actually provide business with key decision making for a pretty volatile industry. So Internet of Things, I always look at Internet of Things as devices that will just run on its own. So I would even consider stuff like, your smart camera and anything that's able to capture on its own, as long as there's a power source and internet connection, are considered Internet things. So these are probes, data, and sensors that your organization may be able and potentially uses. And top of mind, data analytics. Data is king. Data is key to success of an organization. Understanding what you have in your environment and interpreting data in a rapid ways, which is one cornerstone of data analytics, is to provide anything that can optimize your organization's way of operations, customer experiences, and it helps drive innovations and key decision making for the organization. Next slide. So really, what is the key of digital transformation? So these are the business benefits from for business decision makers. We talk about decision making is important. It's definitely any sort of data that you can analyze, and recommendation as a result of these analysis will give business leaders to provide quick decision making. And we talked about earlier about using cloud computing, other tools to help transform and make your organization becomes more agile and flexible in building out new business and initiatives. And we talk about using various tools to help enhance employee productivity. These could be automation, and also provide additional ways to ensure that daily or regular redundant tasks can be done automatically as much as one can, to ensure the organization is efficient. Next slide. So having a new initiative and having new ways of doing things, it's also provides challenges. Some of the items include, and this happens with any projects, any sort of big changes within organization, is their resistance. Top of mind is, employees may be thinking, well, is digital transformation going to take away, the work? And, I think short answer is no. It's digital transformations is to help, having, process that may have 15 steps that are done manually, or could narrow down to, 5 example, and increase the turnaround time for each of the tasks. And as we will talk about in a bit, about how the leaders of digital transformation will help communicate and illustrate what the organization is trying to achieve, and that will also bring the employees along the journey through engagement and training. That will also keep everyone informed of what the change is about, and hope to reduce the resistance. And cybersecurity risk. So for those of you that are in the greater Calgary area, I'm sure you heard of Calgary Public Library was under cyber attack, and hence there are, it was actually shut down for a few days, and now they have reduced services available at the library. At the end of the day, if you implement something new, or you have your existing aging environment, cybersecurity is top of mind. And organization needs to have a robust cybersecurity plan, and also for anything that is new to be implemented, new ways of onboarding vendor, and data assessment and personal and privacy information needs to be reviewed to ensure that the digital transformation has considered all the cybersecurity risks, and try to eliminate or reduce as much as possible. And finally, high initial costs. Yeah, launching something new has some, costs associated with it, and digital transformation in a way also help reduce the expense over a period of time because some of the things that we talk about are cloud computing and services. Those are inherently operational under OpEx as opposed to CapEx. And by actually planning the digital transformation journey and also understanding the return on investment and cost benefit analysis help paint likely a better picture in transforming your organization as opposed to stay with some of the more legacy environments that you're currently using. Next slide. Just to keep it at a very, very high level and also to use unknowable examples, these are the two examples that we have selected. Obviously, everyone knows Netflix. Everyone knows hours of entertainment that it provided to us, and I'm sure that over half of you online would probably have subscription or know someone that has subscription. But for those of us that goes back a few years, you may actually know Netflix as a DVD rental service. It's a mail to door service of DVD movies. Obviously, that's coming to an end. Netflix needs to somehow learn how to transform itself. So they, bought the DVD online to be able to stream globally now, and using advanced technologies, some of the use cases from a technology perspective are very cutting edge. And it's those things that unseen because the net result is you and I can actually go to Netflix and actually choose any movie and get streamed right away. But behind the scenes, there's hundreds and thousands of hours in research development and to make the technology is possible to stream anywhere, anytime. So Uber's digital transformation is also, we know Uber as a, share ride services experience that really has taken over by storm and, replacing a lot of the traditional delivery of such as taxi. But what you may know if you use Uber is they incorporate GPS technology so that you can share your location with your loved ones and time to arrival. These are all very much technology driven and data driven. One thing that they're using for big data, using their big data analytics, is to optimize the cost of pricing so that as many of you have used Uber, the pricing it's a bit of based on demand, so it's seafood price. But by looking at the data on some of the riders' costs from the past, they can able to better optimize and have more drivers available during a certain period of time. Next slide. So a couple more examples that's closer to home, like so Alberta Health Services, and you probably heard on the news quite recently that they're going through quite a bit of change, and you know politics aside, I'm sure that some of the initiatives are more to try to get more of the patients to be to have access to available services. But some of the things that they have done quite recently is Connect Care. It's if you talk to your family doctor, every family doctor or any doctor for that matter can access health records online in a single point. That basically gives no matter who you see in a walk-in clinic, urgent care, emergency, they have access to your latest up-to-date records, including vaccinations. And that's really the key for Alberta Health Services. ATB Financial is another one that's have undergone digital banking transformation. They, as as a smaller financial services in Canada, they just have the ability and capability to try things that are a little bit different, and really, to improve customer experience, using, mobile apps to, engage more of the customers and try to streamline the bank operations as much as they can. And I believe they're probably one of the few that are able to walk away from some of the more legacy experience platforms that typically bank uses to run their operations. And one last thing with ATB is I know that based on my experience, they heavily use data analytics to better understand customer preferences so that their marketing team can better target its customers on certain product and services as part of the promotion. Next slide. So I'm just trying to give a very high level on what digital transformation, how it's implements. Obviously, as a consultant, I would always go in and look at the current capabilities, both in organizations, business, and also technology. That including the platform you use, the software you use, skill sets um, of the employees that are operating the technology, the process that needs to be addressed. And really from that point onwards, and this is where the leaders needs to come in and you know define what is digital transformation, what is the how you measure it, what is the timeline, because you always want to put a timeline that can be shared and communicate and to measure against the initiative itself along with metrics. And most importantly, the digital transformation strategy needs to align with the overall business objectives. Um, so we talk about resistance to change. So cultural in change management is very important. Um, you know, you need typically you need a subject matter expert or someone that owns and responsible for these type of communications. So the work, when we say change management, it really includes communications to everyone, from top of the organization to frontline staff. Try to articulate what is digital transformation, and also training is also a very big key component to change management to ensure that whatever is being rolled out, the appropriate training and awareness needs to be delivered to everyone within the organization or all those that are affected. Also, obviously, with those three key points above, it's important to do the implementation and also monitor the progress as outlined and set up by defining the digital transformation strategy, and also to have a regular review of the metrics to ensure that we're driving towards completion. And this is really no different than any of the project management projects that you be doing within your organization. Next slide. We did talk about leadership, and most certainly this needs to be driven from the leader side. This could be, your, chief technology officer, chief information officer, the really the tallest leader that you have in your organization, and must, paint out and deliver a clear vision and try to illustrate what is the end goal and what you try to achieve based on this digital transformation. Definitely collaborative leadership. It's not a one and done and present your ideas as a technology leader. He or she needs buy-in from the rest of the leadership and from all the business to ensure that digital transformation can be planned out successfully. And for strategic leadership, talked about earlier, it's has to be aligned with the business strategy. The way I look at technology is technology itself. It's certainly a department, and in some cases, is a call center, but more important things is the way I look at technology is the ability to deliver and provide technology is to enable business to do their best and what they can achieve, and opens up doors for the different organizations, different parts of the organizations. Next slide. So now that we talk about, what is digital transformation, how, at a high level, how to implement, what are some of the kind of trends? We talk about AI and machine learning. So artificial intelligence, be it, seen and unseen. Seen is the robots, and unseen, it's just behind the scenes technology. It is rapidly growing, and and even as some of your organization would have some sort of chat GPT or co-pilots enabled within your organization. Those at a very low level can help each of the worker to simplify their work. But at a more important level, it's help organization to predict, um, um, based on the data set that you have, automate technologies. And it does help organization to, you know, um, make key decisions for, anything from investment to organize you know, um, your services in any ways, or in some cases, I work on a predictive analysis to actually optimize the store hours for a pretty large retail outlet in Canada. So, Internet of Things applications, as we spoke earlier, it's really these are devices or smart tools that help the organization to track information or automate technology so that it provide lesser of a hands on, you know, hands touch. It's basically low to no touch technology that helps in particular for healthcare, logistic and manufacturing sectors. As we talked earlier, security and it's very important. Data is ultra important. I'm sure you hear news every week that there's a data breach with some sort of organization out there, and while there's no guarantee that we can stop it, there are always ways for organization to minimize it, and this becomes more of a priority. And and also based on my experience, this is one and only topic that can be its own separate agenda item at some of the highest level of the organization, including at the board at various board meetings. So a solid cybersecurity team and also their participation in digital transformation is key to ensure that any of the technologies roll out is robust and also meet and exceed the security, privacy, regulatory requirements that is set out that may be a requirement for the organization. Next slide. So to sum up, the digital transformation, we talk about what it means and why it's important. Its bottom line is to help your business grow and also gain a competitive advantage. The key benefits are including using the latest technology, and technology that are scalable, and costs that are somewhat predictable, and also help organize some of the data that you have within your organization generated, and leverage these technologies to gain efficiency, productivity, and gain revenue. There are also challenges. It's having the entire organization to have the same understanding of what digital transformation, why we're striving for, and lack of expertise. You obviously with new technology, you need to train some of the key members to have to know how to implement the technologies, and also increase cybersecurity risk means additional scrutiny of the digital transformation is required. We talk about, case studies and, of Netflix, Uber. There's also, important for leadership to, provide that digital transformation vision and build a roadmap, having ongoing communications with the organization, having the organization appropriate training or introduction to the new technology that helps foster the culture of innovation for the organization. And lastly, on this point is leadership is important. It's everything. Digital leadership, it helps paint the roadmap and to include new technologies such as AI, blockchain, even in the field of virtual and augmented reality. And some of the places I consult with have really go heavy into the virtual reality side of the picture. With that, next slide. I'll hand it back. I'll hand it to VK for this particular slide.
Yeah, thank you, Wilson, for a very engaging and great presentation. So I will just introduce quickly. So we know the importance of digital transformation, and what we found is that there are a lot of the disconnection. So we understand from Wilson's slide that a digital transformation is not just like, something that is done by the IT, or it's not like, just to upgrade infrastructure. It's not. So it's really like how an organization or a company leverages the digital technologies to change how it operates and also deliver values to customer and achieve business goals. So I think the gaps is that, right? A lot of the company that doesn't actually have a good digital transformation is because lack of the engagement of all of the staff. So I think in order to start a digital transformation, I think the first thing that is really important is to have all of the staff, from the top management to the frontline staff, to really understand how they could actually be involved and contribute to this. So this is why we actually have recently launched the digital transformation micro-credential, whereby it is actually a very good course to let everybody, in an organization to really understand, why is it important, not only from the perspective of employer, it's also the perspective of employee. So for example, I mentioned to you, like, if a lot of people are asking, like, would I lose a job, in this fast changing world whereby there are so many technologies? But what we know is that if you can always keep up with the latest skill sets in digital transformation, and actually how to work in a future focused organization, I think you actually have a lot of opportunities, because you actually see that, right? You have all the skill sets and know how to actually work in a future focused organization that focus on digital services and products. Depending on your role, then, for example, if you want to go into data analytics, so you can see we have a course or programs called Microsoft Power BI, really targeting, non-IT or non-data analytics. Is really for anybody who wants to learn how to use Power BI in their everyday role. If we go back in time, like 20 years back, maybe a lot of people doesn't know how to use Excel. So now the time is there, right? I think a Power BI or some basic skills of data analytics and how to do the visualization would be similar to, what we went through, like, the skill set of Excel, how to do, Excel or PowerPoint. But in the future, if you know about Power BI, anybody can actually use it, and you can start building your dashboard. And Wilson actually mentioned a lot of things about cloud computing. We also offer some fundamentals in computing foundations. And if you are actually interested in more advanced courses, we also have applied data science and big data. And coming up, we are collaborating with Microsoft in offering some of the Copilot courses in Microsoft 365. And also we are looking at some of the new courses in generative AI.